It's time for Slayers to take on a new task, introducing superior Slayer encounters. How's it going, everybody? I'm Lewis, and we've got a new update from the Old School RuneScape team. This is for the superior Slayer encounters. Superior Slayer encounters are a way of breaking up the grind of Slayer, with a rare chance of a superior Slayer encounter spawning for the following creatures: Crawling Hands, Cave Crawlers, Banshees, Rock Slugs, Cockatrices, Pyrefiends, Basilisks, Infernal Mages, Bloodvelds, Mutated Bloodvelds, Jellies, Warped Jellies, Cave Horrors, Aberrant Spectres, Deviant Spectres, Dust Devils, Krasks, Gargoyles, Necrolls, Greater Necrolls, Abyssal Demons, Dark Beasts, and Smoke Devils. To unlock superior Slayer encounters, go to the Slayer reward point shop and buy Bigger and Badder for 150 Slayer points. If you're on a Slayer task for one of those creatures I just mentioned, then there'll be a chance of a higher level and more challenging version of that Slayer monster appearing, with some of them potentially having different combat mechanics which, especially for the higher levels, could be very interesting. If a superior Slayer monster spawns, only you can kill it, so if someone else is in the room and they see it, they can't fight it. If you choose to take it on, then you'll get 3 rolls on the drop table of the standard Slayer monster, meaning you'll get 3 times as much reward for killing the monster. You'll also get 10 times the amount of Slayer experience, which means killing them is actually quite beneficial. As well as that, there are 3 unique drops from these superior Slayer monsters. First of all, the Mist Battle Staff. The Mist Battle Staff provides unlimited air and water runes, requiring level 30 magic and attack to equip. Let's have a look at this Mist Battle Staff. It looks alright. I quite like the lower part of the staff, however I'm not really a fan of the top. I understand they tried to have the orbs like a lot of staffs in RuneScape have, however I think they should have just done what the Mud Battle Staff has and just not bother with it. Moving on to the Dust Battle Staff, which is very similar to the Mist Battle Staff, however it provides unlimited air and earth runes. I would once again say similar comments with the staff's appearance. They're trying to get the orbs on top of it, which I can understand because a lot of staffs in-game have orbs. However, if you look at battle staffs like the Mud Battle Staff, you can see that you don't necessarily need orbs to make a good staff in Old School RuneScape. In fact, I'll probably bunch the Mist Battle Staff, the Dust Battle Staff, and the Smoke Battle Staff into a group of battle staffs I hate the graphics of. I mean, they are incredibly useful, but they just have terrible graphics because the artist has tried to do something different, and to me, they really remind me of how the newer staffs looked in RuneScape 3, which I'm not a huge fan of. As well as those staffs, you'll be able to get the Imbued Heart. The Imbued Heart is an unlimited source of magic power, boosting your magic by 1 plus 10% of your magic level every 7 minutes. Something I'm not really a huge fan of. It feels very RuneScape 3 in the way it behaves, and I would say the naming of the item feels like something you find in a Minecraft mod. Finally, there's one more benefit for superior Slayer encounters. Within the Catacombs of Zair, there'll be a 100% drop rate for the totem pieces, as well as a 100% ensouled head drop rate and a 10 times higher clue scroll drop rate, which means superior Slayer monsters, if they spawn, are really worth killing. I just hope that they've made them appropriately rare so they're not too overpowered in game. Next are drop table improvements. In the most recent content poll, they asked if we wanted to get some drop table improvements to just a bunch of Slayer monsters. And they've done this for Gargoyles, Necrolls, Waterfiends, Scarabites, Dust Devils, and Krasks. Each of these monsters have got a lot better drop tables, and they're going to be a lot more lucrative to kill. However, like I said in my poll video, I just hope they haven't gone too overboard with that, because in the past the Old School RuneScape team have showed tendencies of saying, oh, we'll improve something, and making it completely overpowered. As well as those general drop table improvements, Krasks now have leaf-bladed battle axes on their drop table. This is a brand new weapon capable of damaging Turafs and Krasks. It has a pretty decent slash and crush attack bonus, as well as an amazing melee strength bonus, which I'm actually questioning. However, seeing as it requires an attack level of 65 and a slayer level of 55 to use, it's not as bad as you would think if it didn't require those. Moving on from Slayer related stuff to the Blast Furnace. On World 358, there are now 3 dwarves working around the clock to keep the Blast Furnace running. If you want to use the Blast Furnace, you're going to have to pay them 60,000 coins an hour. You can do this by depositing coins into the co-op found just near the bank chest. Once you deposit the coins, they'll constantly drain when you use the blast furnace. And if you like, you can take the coins out at a time. So if you're using the blast furnace, it could potentially be a way of just storing your coins. At no point on World 358 will players be able to interfere with the three dwarfs, Stumpy, Pumpy and Dumpy, meaning that the blast furnace on that world is completely automated. However, if you do want to participate in the blast furnace properly, then you can do it on any other world. However, it might be a bit of a struggle to get a decent amount of people because World 358 is seen as the blast furnace world, and all the other worlds might have people at the blast furnace, but they're not too welcoming to so many people going there. I think this will be a very useful update. I like the fact that they're removing some trolling that's happened in Blast Furnace. However, I find it rather sad that you don't have to do all the Blast Furnace activities to actually utilise this area. I suppose paying 60,000 coins an hour could potentially balance that out. However, it feels kind of low for saying that this is definitely the best place to create bars in-game. Moving on to the wintertodt improvements. It's been a week since the wintertodt has been released, and they've made various changes following feedback from the community. Previously, you would earn additional supply crates for every 500 points that you earn. However, because there was no difference between getting 500 points and 750 points, then you wouldn't really work that hard. To encourage players to earn more points, they're adding a chance of getting additional supply crates, even if you don't hit exactly the 500 point milestone. So if you get, say, 999 points, there's a really good chance you're going to get the additional supply crate, as opposed to just the one supply crate. However, what you must remember with this is, you still need to have a minimum of 500 points to receive your first supply crate. They've also added a respawn timer visible within the prison, so you'll be able to see when the wintertodt is going to respawn. The warning message upon leaving is no longer displayed when the wintertodt is subdued. Potions will no longer be removed from your inventory between encounters, providing that you do not leave the area. Burning Bruma Kindling now provides 25 points, and Healing the Pyromancers provides 30 points. The fire-making experience given for burning kindling has been increased slightly. The message displayed when trying to perform an action while the wintertodt is subdued is now added to the game filter. The drop rate of various items has been changed, including the Pyromancer gloves, Bruma Torch and burnt pages. The Phoenix pet no longer shows as an NPC marker on the minimap, and a small number of text changes have been made. All these changes are quite nice. I like the fact that they're making you actually work to have a chance at getting more supply crates, because obviously before you'll get 500 points and say, right, that's it, there's no point in getting 1,000. Or if you did get to 1,000, there'd be no point in getting any more. Now they've actually added some value to gaining, say, 750 points, because you could get 1 or 2 supply crates. It's a chance, however it's worth risking it. The one thing I am slightly disappointed with the wintertodt improvements is the fact that they've increased the amount of experience given for burning kindling. Because the amount of experience gained at this wintertodt area and the amount of money you can actually gain trumps what most fire-making methods are. I suppose you could say, yes, if you're just burning logs, you can get faster experience. However, that's if you're buying redwood logs, and potentially buying magic logs. That is incredibly expensive, and most people, I would say, probably just use maple logs, which are a much cheaper version and slower. So they've now made a fairly costly and quick skill somewhat quicker and actually give you money. In a way, I see this somewhat similar to how RuneScape came out. It completely changed how you play, so it went from really active to AFK, and the downside was that you didn't get money. However, that's not really a huge downside if you can get so much fast experience, especially because you think a lot of people get money just so they can get experience. Moving on this week, we've got the other news and bug fixes. Scarabites now have an extension option available from Slayer Masters for 50 Slayer reward points. The achievement log displayed in the player-owned house now displays the White Knight rank and the fastest silver kill. And World 357 is now being used for Last Man Standing tournaments taking place at RuneFest this Saturday, meaning that world won't be accessible for an entire week. It's no longer possible to tick-eat vengeance damage, and the Phoenix pet now has the correct options when in the menagerie. This entire update is quite nice. I do like the idea of Slayer encounters, and I suppose I'll have to see what it's like in game. However, I'm not a huge fan of all the rewards they've offered. The drop table improvements, again, I think are great. However, I have to see what they're like in game, because I have a strong feeling the Old School RuneScape team would have made them rather OP. Blast Furnace can't be sabotaged, which is amazing. However, I'm not a huge fan of the fact that the entire minigame is just automated now, purely just for pumping out bars into the game. And, like I've just discussed, the wintertodt improvements are quite interesting. If you want to discuss this update, please go on the forums or do so in my comments below. Click here if you want to watch my video on the latest Old School RuneScape poll, rewards from raids, and Slayer. And if you want to watch my video on the latest Old School RuneScape update, please click here for the wintertodt. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and share, and if you want to keep up to date with the Old School RuneScape updates, dev blogs, and polls, please subscribe. I've been Lewis, thanks for watching, goodbye.